Hear the whisper of husks, feel the shimmer of maize. I summon thee now for delicious displays. Golden and sweet, a trick makes a treat. Transform little corn and be magic we eat. Colonel, oh Colonel, there's nowhere to flee. Here comes a mad baker and you're part of my spree.
Hi, this is Chef Danny from Republica in Portland, Oregon. I'm here to challenge Chef Ryan with a little bit of maize. We do this here at Republica a lot, so I figured we'd give him something that is something near and dear to us. This is going to be the dried version, but Chef can do dry or fresh. We'll go dealer's choice.
Well, hi there. Welcome back to Key Ingredient, the show where every month a chef or subscriber gives me an ingredient to work with and I turn it into a dessert. This month's Key Ingredient... Chef Danny Morales of Republica gave me this ingredient, and Republica is described as a Mexico-forward restaurant, so I wanted to lean into that and give a nod both to the chef and to the restaurant with what I'm gonna make this time. I could talk about Mexican flavors for days, but if I did that, this video would be like 600 hours, and I have a hard enough time getting people to watch for just like 10 minutes, so just know that it's one of my favorite flavor profiles. I love anything to do with corn. I love it sweet, I love it savory. I love corn dogs, cornbread, corn on the cob, elote, corn pudding, corn ice cream, popcorn balls, popcorn, caramel corn. There's so many different ways to use it. Corn syrup. So when I was trying to figure out what kind of dessert I was going to make, I started to think like all the different ways that I could use corn. I thought maybe like I could do like a sweet corn dog, or maybe like some sort of sweet corn chowder or something like that. Or like maybe turn it into a fritter or a donut. But then I circled back to the corn chowder and I thought, why does this sound familiar? I feel like I've heard this or seen this somewhere before. And it's because I have. In 2017, Umaibo released a limited run of the Nicholas Stick, a corn chowder flavored snack that was only available if you pre-order tickets to go see Nicolas Cage's movie, Army of One, at a theater in Tokyo. So I don't think a lot of people got to try it, but I swear to God, he has manifested into my videos thrice now. That's practically witchcraft.
I invoke thee.
So at this point, I'm either cursed, sponsored, or haunted. And I don't think I'm the first two, so maybe like after this episode airs, he'll like show up behind me and the next time I look in the mirror or something like that. I don't know. For this dessert, I'm gonna do a few things. The chef said I could either use fresh or dried. So I'm gonna make something really traditional and then decorate it with a bunch of bells and whistles, plated dessert style. So first, I'm gonna make a roasted corn flan. I'm gonna roast the corn first to kind of really intensify and concentrate that corn flavor, so it's not just like a fresh corn flavor. I want it kind of like really deep and intense. Then I'm gonna get a little wild and make it a little foolish, and I'm gonna make a crispy puffed corn. I did something really similar to this when I worked at a restaurant, except I used rice at the time. So I'm gonna cook some corn flour down with some tapioca, dehydrate that, and then deep fry that, and it'll be kind of like corn chips, sort of. It'll be kind of weird and fun, and you know, people look at it and be like, oh, that's cool. A little weird, which is usually what people say when I like show up to a party. Just kidding. I don't go to parties. And because I'm obsessed with contrasts, like temperature and texture in plated desserts, I'm gonna add a frozen element. I'm gonna do a guava granita. And I chose guava because I also wanna challenge myself a little bit because I don't like guava. I think it tastes weird, and I like to challenge myself and use ingredients that I don't like. I also think it'll like pair really nicely and possibly look really pretty. It might be a little pale when I'm finished with it, just because of like the flaking technique that I have to do with the granita. I'll get to that later. And I know that like granita is Italian and that's not obviously Mexican, but guava has a lot of ties to Mexico, so we're gonna go with that. And the last thing I'm gonna do is make some popcorn. I'm gonna pop some popcorn and I'm gonna pulverize some freeze-dried corn, toss that with some malt powder and some salt, So you'll get like some roasty notes to it, and it'll be like sort of like a salty sweet component on top of it. Hopefully this all comes together on the plate because I didn't test any of this time. So I think I could put it.
The sun, warmth, joy, golden radiance. Just like this roasted corn flan, it brings light to the table. A sweetness that warms and comforts the soul.
First, I'm going to slice the corn from the cob, so I'm going to roast that to bring out some of the nutty notes. So I'm going to roast all the kernels on a sheet tray. Then I'm going to start on the base for the flan. In a large pot, I'm going to add the milk, cream, and some blackberry honey, followed by sugars and salt, and then the roasted corn. And I'm also going to add the corn cobs for some extra corn flavor. I'm going to bring that to a simmer and then let that infuse. After about an hour, I'm going to remove the cobs and then blend the corn into the base and then strain all of that through a chinois. When you're straining anything through something like a chinois, a ladle is the best tool, and the best technique is just to go up and down rather than trying to like swirl it around or push it around the sides. It'll go a lot faster if you just go up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm going to start on the caramel while I blend the eggs into the flan base. Once the caramel is ready, I'm going to add it to my vessels, and then once it's hardened, I'm going to add the flan base on top of that. I'm going to fill the pan with hot water, cover it, and gently poke it with a few holes to let the steam escape. About an hour later, it's perfectly jiggly.
The star, clarity, hope, and soothing refreshment. This guava granita sparkles like a distant light, a cooling, peaceful counterpoint to the warmth of our flan.
I'm going to attempt to infuse some corn flavor into the granita, which is a little hard because there's no fat or alcohol, there's just sugar, so we'll see how this goes. I'm going to roast the corn again, and in a pot, I'm going to add some water, half of my guava juice, some sugar and salt, along with some orange zest. I'm going to bring the base up to a simmer, then add in my roasted corn and cobs. After about 20 minutes, I'm going to strain the mixture and then add in some fresh lime juice. Then I'm going to add in the rest of my guava juice, pour that mixture onto a sheet tray, and freeze that until ice crystals form. Then I'm going to scrape that with a fork, freeze it again, and repeat that process every 30 minutes until it's ready.
The fool, airy, unpredictable. So too is our puffed corn, light, whimsical, daring in texture, and filled with wonder.
I'm going to combine some tapioca pearls and some corn flour, and in a pot I'm going to add some water and salt and some more salt, and cook the tapioca corn mixture, whisking constantly for what feels like an eternity. It's kind of like pâte à choux. Then I'm going to spread it really thin on a sheet tray and dehydrate that in a very low oven for a couple of hours. Once it's fully dried, then I'm going to break it up and deep fry the corn chips on a stove within a pot of hot oil. When's the last time you fried something? Were you watching YouTube? Do you hear the oil? Find it. Tell me when you found it. It's bubbling. It's getting hot. What do you want? You want to subscribe. Now, like and subscribe. Subscribe.
Mastery. Popcorn adds body and crunch. A salty, sweet, steadfast force that will entice you to live deliciously.
Alright, I'm going to pulverize some freeze-dried corn with a little bit of salt until that is a fine powder. I'm using a spice grinder here, but you could also use a plastic bag and a rolling pin. Part of being in the kitchen is just kind of learning to roll with the punches and making adjustment. I'm going to melt a little bit of butter in the microwave and then pop some popcorn on the stove in a little bit of coconut oil. I'm going to dress this just how you would any other bowl of popcorn, only I'm going to set a little bit aside for Buckley because he loves 3 things: carrots, peanut butter, and popcorn. Sit. Okay.
And now the inevitable conclusion of this dessert. It's death. I will eat you. And then I will eat your children.
I'm going to unmold the flan from the tins now that they're fully chilled. I'm going to place a plate on top and then flip it over, letting the fluid caramel flow wherever it wants to go. I'm going to add a little bit of the guava granita alongside the flan and then arrange a few pieces of the crispy puffed corn chips around the dish, followed by some of the popped corn, and then finishing with a little sprinkling of the leftover malted corn powder. This was really good. It wasn't too sweet. It had a really strong corn flavor. Would recommend.
Wouldst thou like and subscribe?